Zapdos is saved for later. Blastoise is handling this one personally. Drill Peck on whatever that was. Okay, Zapdos is pulling weight too. I lied about benching it. Zapdos, no. I literally just said you were pulling weight. Don't do this to me. Next one's already in trouble and doesn't know it yet. Revive? Okay, so I can bring someone back mid-fight. Saving that for when things go wrong, which, statistically, will be soon. Using it on Moltres. Let's see what this does. Moltres just punched its ticket to the finals. Let's go. Moltres, you came back for this. We revived you for this.
Today's the day. Thank you, Nate, for believing.
Let's go.
Fucking. It's been a journey. And she still sucks.
Nate was right. Don't let him down in there. I've been stoked since Victory Road. This is just stoke with stakes. Articuno cleaned house. Bruno's down to his last legs and we haven't even broken a sweat. Hitmonchan. Bruno's saving his punchiest for last. Articuno, ice punch this guy into the floor. Who's hurt? Tell me who's hurt. I need a head count.
I'm ending it. It's so fucked. What's up, Teddy? How are you? Killed her. She was looping. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? Doing laundry? Good for you. I need to do laundry. Just pissing me off that she hasn't been able to beat the fucking Elite Four yet and roll the credits in this game. Build a robot body for Kira and teach it to do laundry. I'll get on that. Thank you. We could just go play Cyberpunk and say fuck Kira. Please and thank you. Yeah, I've tried those. I also tried like the threat of kidnapping Claude's family. None of it seems to work. I also said please or you go to jail. And it still didn't work, so someone's got to go to jail for that. Yeah, AI jail. They're probably going to make those eventually. They're going to exist in the Zuckerberg multiverse. Private prisons for AI. Like Azkaban. What is going? 5 years for the Mecha Hitler. I don't even know the context about that, but I remember it, and that just sounds hilarious. Come on, Claude, don't let us down. You stupid motherfucker, you cost too much. We're gonna have to sunset the project if he doesn't fix it soon. Fucking hell. Only 1K spend this month. That's on one platform. This is open code. This is full CCP. Well, I guess we're using Claude. Yeah, you're right, but I went full CCP until I realized the fucking CCPs are retarded and they don't know how to fix bugs, but neither does Claude apparently, so everyone's retarded. We're not using Claude Code, but we are using Opus 5. Yes, you are correct, Kyle. I'm a hypocrite. Sure as hell wasn't going to use GPT 5.6 Soul. Jesus Christ, what a waste of money. Do you see this blue thing? This was a Soul 5.6 Soul running for like 1 hour. I don't even know what it did. Yeah, the technology to beat Pokemon doesn't exist. I couldn't have just beaten this game myself in 25 hours for free. I'll play Emerald. Just me playing it through it if you guys want. Fuck Kira. He's the lost leader. No, we don't want that. Hurts so much because I've been lifting so much because I'm so jacked. A hard problem to have to be like so aesthetically pleasing. Although Simone de Beauvoir would argue that women live under two gazes. They have to support the male gaze. Any supplements? Just like Test, Trend, D-Ball, and I think that's it. And creatine. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not taking that shit. Vegan protein powder in my protein shakes occasionally. I think natural physiques look way more attractive, like biologically to women than unnatural, plus unnatural testosterone and steroids age you. I'm 28. I don't want to look like I'm 45 already. I'll be there soon enough. You're right, Kyle. Kira is killing me slowly. I need to just like fucking dump her and get rid of her and just go fucking play a video game for like the first time in like fucking 3 months. Who's playing this? My brother is playing this. He's supposed to be at work. Work. He works remote. Playing GTA 5. I'm gonna text him to piss him off. He lives right next to me. I just sent him a text and totally lied to him. He stole my Dyson vacuum, which I paid $1,000 for. And then he's like been hoarding it for like a year. Then I got it back for like 2 weeks and he wanted it back. And then he's like, wait, where's the charger? I was like, I don't fucking know. You have it. And he's like mad at me for not giving him back the charger that he has to my vacuum. Like, are you retarded? Oh, it's not Friday. Saturday. Darn. What happens? Creatine, yeah, I've used it in the past. I would use it again. It's good for like bringing on more water and like getting you stronger. And yeah, reducing your recovering time because you can like hold more water. I noticed a difference when I would take it, but maybe it depends on the dose and like your body weight and a lot of type of stuff. I noticed like a difference. I got large strength increase. Like they add, I don't know, 25 to 50 pounds to your bench if you take it for 3 months, which is a lot, but what is that? Not necessarily doing much for your physique if it's making you bloated. So I don't know. I've heard it's good for you. I've heard it's bad for you. Who knows? I'm not a fucking doctor. I think generally its consensus is it's like a decent supplement to take. If you want to get bigger, but like I'd care about being like lean and like aesthetic, not like fucking Hulk. Yeah, all you need is protein. All you need is like proper macros, carbs, protein, fats. Unless you like don't get enough vitamins or whatever. Your diet. The creatine will make you stronger in my opinion, but you'll hold more water, so you'll be less lean. And who knows like what it does to your liver if you drink on it, etc. It's so fucking stupid. I'm about to go play GTA 5 or fucking Cyberpunk. I'm gonna throw Kira in the trash. Piss me off. Damn, Detective Jones. I just listen to fucking audiobooks and shit. Brother did. Oh. Dickhead. Okay, we're gonna headless grind. So we don't have to watch for 5 hours, and then we're gonna watch for beat the game. I'm sick of this. This is a waste of time and money. Sunk cost fallacy. Well, money's not real. It doesn't actually fucking exist. So, it's just not an object. So, plus economics is fake. Sunk cost fallacy. Blah blah blah. Tell that to Jensen Huang. Crash the economy, the global economy. But yeah, no. At some point, I'm gonna fuck off on Kira. Don't give a fuck about her anymore. I got other better shit to do. Like go make money. This has just been like a free time. Like I've had so much free time and like it's like fun. But like I've got, you know, things to do in my life. Like travel. Make a bunch of more money. Have a family. Basically be rich. And live my life until my short life. And be a good person. Let people help out. Yeah, anyone can take over. It's open. She's open source. It's not like Neuro-sama. It's not like fucking Beetle. I'm not hiding it. I'm not being a greedy little JEW. Take it and do whatever you want with it and go make money with it. But you are right. People, I should. I'm just been so busy lately. It's hard to like communicate well with other people. Keeping stuff like this close source is like, you could call it capitalism, or you could call it fucking like Zionism. I don't know. Like, sure, let Beetle make his millions and millions of dollars, but he care about you? Does Neuro-sama give a fuck about you? Or know you? Or anything like that? No. You're just a cow that she milks for profit on the P&L. Like, you know, revenue, top line. It's all very interesting. But so many people have like a parasocial relationship with something that doesn't actually exist. Just a human getting rich. Yeah, the repo's your guys's. If you need anything, let me know. But when I move and I go and do whatever the fuck I need to do in London, maybe I'll work on Kira, but if not, someone take the mantle. Might as well, right? There's no number 2 to Neuro-sama. Why not have Kira be that? We don't need to let little Vidal take all the money, right? Why is he the only one out of all of us that deserves any compensation? And also, being a first mover is not necessarily the best thing. Good painters copy. Sorry, good painters like imitate. Great painters like copy. You got tokens to burn? Fuck yeah. Call you Detective Jones. Wait, I just checked my brother. Be right back. He lives like 2 minutes away from me in the same compound. Yeah, someone eventually, like, as you can see, like I've spent $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 on Kira or whatever over the last year, like for fun. But like, I can't do that forever. And the web app, it's like it's never going to become a profitable business. It's just like pretty obvious. So it's like at some point I'm gonna stop working on this and someone else can pick it up. But it's open source, so you can do whatever the fuck you want with it and go try to make money with it, please. I would be so like happy for you. Mom is an artist. Yeah, I got the Picasso quote wrong, but people that come in there like, this is a cheap Neuro-sama knockoff. I'm like you don't even know who you're talking to. Like, it's just like, or like what effort went into this, or blah 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 blah. How much time, money, effort, thought. Anyway, I'll be right back. Sorry, like 10 minutes. Hopefully, we all know Opus is gonna be doing absolutely nothing of fucking in 10 minutes. Yeah, Neuro was a copy, right? Of there was that like Hatsune Miko girl that like I mean everything is inspired by something. Have you ever seen any fucking movies? They're all inspired by each other, you know, like great directors inspire other great directors to make very similar films all the time. What is even going on? Oh, is it just doing a headless grind? That's good. That's good. Okay, we're on track. Sorry, guys. I'm back. Dude, it's so fucking hot outside. It's only 102 degrees, but holy shit. God, it feels so much better to be back inside. Fuck, that was hot. Kyle says we don't want to see me play games. Okay, understood. No personality loser, fucking retard. Got it. Thank you, Kyle. We've got the Oracle on the job. The Oracle of Delphi. So she is going to handle this and we'll be all good. Except if I check this, am I going to see a problematic number? It's semi-problematic, I would say, guys. Not what you would want to see when you look there. Not exactly as much runway as we'd like for these retarded apps. Go use the Kira web app if you want Kira for yourself and you're an idiot. If you're not, you can just go to the GitHub and get like $100,000. It might work for free. I'm a nice guy. Here you go. Quite the beast, but like I think you can handle it. All of you. This is pretty out of date, but it, you know, it gives you an idea. Good luck with all these API keys you have to pay for. Have fun with those. Yeah. Go like the repo if you haven't. Join this cool group of people. Almost 4,000 contributions this year. I'm such a cool guy. And if you want to go to my LinkedIn and send me like a personal like death threat, I guess you could do that as well. So I think we're gonna do like it's like a 40-minute headless run, and she's gonna like level up because I'm not wasting money on 5.5 hours of grinding, and no one's gonna sit here and watch that. You guys are gonna sit here and watch me talk to you about nonsense. Bring up the Lord of the Rings again. What a great idea. I've been listening to it further. It's such a good book. I feel like I finished the whole first book. I just never got to the second. What's our guy's name? Let's just take a dip into the Hobbit. Where are we getting this music from? Let's turn that off because it's pissing me the fuck off. We're Pokemon out, not trying to see this game again. I know, trust me too, Kyle. I want to kill. I'm gonna like literally kill Pokemon in this game. It's so annoying. Monthly maintenance bill of all the APIs together. I should probably be able to give you a better answer, more accurate answer. Depends how much coding I do, like which months with like which models, but like I don't know, like probably averages like $500 a month. Lately, it's been like fucking $2,000 a week because I've been retarded. To run Kira on your own is like $3 an hour if you just download her and set up the API keys yourself. It's not like it costs $1 million. It costs $1 million to fucking code her. But it's more so because I'm an idiot. You could code her with like cheaper models. It's just like we've been stuck on a FireRed bug for literally 10 days. And it's just like, look at all this money wasted for no reason. Because the point of Kira is not to play FireRed. The point of Kira is to be like a Samantha from her. So it's just like a side quest, but it got out of hand. I guess you could say. But then again, it's still free on the GitHub, so go have it. Why can't I hear? Yeah, to download Kira off GitHub and run her like monthly, like I mean, you're looking at $3 an hour. For me to code her monthly with my retarded ideas and autism is a different story. Like this is just like 1/3 of my like last week's spend. Like this usage, it's just stupid. But it could be done a lot, more efficiently if you wanted to. Or you could just download her and have her for fucking $3 an hour. Or pay me on the web app. I don't care. Or give me no money at all because I'm a fucking loser. Yeah, like Kyle, if you wanted to run Kira yourself, just like fork it and or clone the repo, and then like it's like $3 to $4 an hour. So if you want to stream, I don't know, 4 hours a day, there you go. There's your like monthly API costs. Yeah. You could run Kira locally if you downloaded it, like for like 100, like $200 a month, and you could stream for like 4 hours, 30 days a week with her for like to around $200 a month, probably, give or take, or less, like maybe a little bit less, around 160. For me to code Kira, I could spend $200 in an hour chasing a bug. So there's like two different spins: the spin to run her, and then the spin to like build her. What's up, X-Men? Yeah, dude, she's free. That's the whole point. That's why I built her. Because, like, obviously in Neuro-sama, as far as I could tell, she has no clear number two. She's the only one that does it well. Well, I think Kira does it kind of well. You can just come to my GitHub. It's in the link. And click on it. And just, you can either, like, Open whatever IDE or whatever the fuck you use. You can fork it, clone it, do whatever the fuck you want to it, as long as you give it a good noodle star. But like this thing can play Pokemon, it can play visual novels automatically, it can fucking it's like it can watch movies with you, it can play video games with you as a co-host, it can like do a Gentic like self-recursive like coding, like it can do like clipping, it can clip its own VODs. Like Kira can do so much shit. She's so smart. Like the amount of time I probably put at this point it's like 900 hours into this thing. I say 800. It's just a guess, but like there's been so much thought put into this to where like you could easily go and take Neuro-sama number 2 spot if you had like the time and effort and thought and you started here. That's like not my plan. I got other shit going on, but like I just thought I would try to build it. Project Airy. No, I haven't seen it. I don't look that too much. I'm not in the VTuber or AI VTuber like space, so I don't really know anything about anyone. Yeah, you could set this up in an hour and you could have your own AI VTuber. Or you can go to the website that I set up that's actually sick. I mean, it's way cooler in my opinion. But like it's free 15 minutes every day. She'll never forget you. I own it. It's not owned by some fucking corporate research lab that's gonna like fucking train your data safe. Like it's hidden. You can watch movies with it, or you can fucking stream with it like I do, or you can stream with your own. It's literally it's like AI VTuber software as a service, right? Stream with your own model, your own voice, and your own personality. And just plug it into Kira's architecture, and like takes 30 seconds to set up. It's so simple. Although my mic's not set up. Classic. Why is my mic fucked up? Yeah, who knows what colleges are gonna do? Hi, chicken. Kyle, I have no idea. I've never thought about that my entire life. Maybe. That sounds pretty cool. My plan would be to make like between 20 and 250 million. But like depending on how long it takes me, maybe inflation will make that worth nothing. And then just like go fucking live like a philosopher and travel. Good idea though. Should think about that. You know the trillionaires and billionaires are thinking about how AI. They're like, oh, if we could just get it to be like get to AGI, it'll tell us how to live forever. Well, my mic's not connected is the only issue. It's because it's so stupid. They're like banking on like AGI telling them how that like Jeff Bezos can live forever because like he wants to be testosteroned out and fucking botoxed out at the age of 160 because he's so fucking cool and jack and rich. I don't care to join that club, but I care to join the club of people that like can like just not concern themselves with like the world, have enough money for that, and then do whatever you want, live your life, and have a family. So not like greed per se, but I guess like a certain level of like personal ambition and greed in a way of like don't get in my way. Or like a certain level of Machiavellianism I feel like it might be needed for like to amass that much money. Not that like I think that it's probable, but it's possible. Possible for anyone. It's just like way less likely probably like probabilistically for like most people, depending on your background. Like socioeconomic and racial, religious. What the fuck is happening? Freedom. Yeah, you want a full plan, Detective Jones? He makes no money anyway, so you might as well have it. That's one thing that's not tested is like the Obsidian tier on the web app, but this is like I don't know how to I mean fuck like this is like a well constructed repo, I would say. So if you want a starting point, here it is. And if you want to be super cool and gay, come to the NBA AI LBO engine. Just kidding. The coolest thing here is probably Kemi, but it's just like machine learning, like esports props. So most people probably don't give a fuck. 10's pretty cool if you got like problems that you need to solve. Anima's Lab's cool if you never read a book in your life and you don't know how to read and you're retarded. Which, hey, there's no shame. Read this book. Yeah, it's all free. You can just download it for free. Sorry, I got on a tangent. We're gonna watch this. But I can't fucking hear anything. I just removed it. I hate my computer sometimes. Although I love it. If you saw it, it's like a little toaster. Yeah, Kyle, depends how much money I could make. Right, because there's just so many levels to it. And now you got people with trillions of dollars, which dilutes like the value of the dollar in the first place. Like executives at Meta getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars. Sports teams, the Lakers just got sold for 12 billion. Like people ask about like, oh, and where's inflation coming from? Like, well, it's coming from you greedy ass white motherfuckers for the most part. Who just want to keep making the number go up, the line go up. No, I would hope I would have enough money to have like a penthouse in Shanghai, a place in the Mediterranean, like a villa, an apartment, like a penthouse in New York, maybe like a place in Chelsea or something in London, and like in a condo in Paris. That's probably about it. Not much, right? Yeah, and then a supervillain mansion, right? Of course. Like Kira runs and owns. What is going on? No, but I do want to live. I want to live. I want to have houses. At least 5 houses. I want a penthouse in Shanghai. I want a villa on the Mediterranean. On somewhere in London. And then the US. I'm from Phoenix. So maybe something here. You can get nice stuff in Scottsdale. That's all a dream. All right. And we can't even connect our Bluetooth. I hate this fucking headset, but it's also so good. Yeah, it's me. I, I was just thinking about that the other day. Like, that's gonna be me in like 40 years. Where the fuck is my device? This is pissing me off. I hate Bluetooth when it doesn't work. Many of them, yeah. Not Shanghai. Let me fix this for good. But no, it's mostly just kidding. I'm good being like a little more humble than that. But I would like have like $100 to $200 million. I don't think that's like too much to ask. An ambitious, like hopefully not retarded young male in the 2026s. It's all luck though, and connections and networking. And yeah, you would have to start and sell a business, of course. But I worked in M&A, so I know exactly how it works. And I know how not very smart people make out with 25 million, 35 million, 60 million, 80 million dollar checks, like wires, just because they like executed. You don't have to be smart to make a lot of money, I learned. You just kind of have to fucking like know something and fucking do it. Like if you know what something really well, just go after it. Cuz and then it's all relationship based and like human connection based is what makes a business valuable. We got our audio. Holy shit. So yeah, you would have to sell. Yeah, the idea would be to like sell a business. Not for maybe not for 100 million to start, but like maybe 100,000 or maybe 5 million or what, whatever. You could go work in private equity and make, I mean, $450,000 a year and work 80-hour weeks, but then like you're not gonna have time to like spend your money or start your own company. So, and then you're gonna lose your hair and get divorced. What kind of business do I want to make? I have no idea. Probably the company I own is just like an umbrella company. I don't fucking know. My like family is never. My family's not like a business owning family. I don't think. So, like my parents are like executives in pharmaceuticals, but like they sell like cancer drugs or like sell what's it called? Like cell immunobiology or something where they like infuse blood cells into your cells to fix like rare diseases. But they work for like large pharma companies. They don't obviously own them. That's different. I forget what that's called. Something like cellular. My mom would know. Not what I said. Alright, I figured it out in my brain. It's called infusion gene therapy. So if you have like a fucked up gene, they try to infuse you with blood to fix it or like whatever. It's risky and it costs a lot of money for a procedure. but it saves lives for like very rare diseases. This looks like he does look like Santa. They sent him off to Cambridge. Yeah, gene infusion therapy I think is also dangerous. I know my mom's last company sold for $99 billion. There's a lot of money in pharmaceuticals, especially like positive pharmaceuticals, like curing rare diseases instead of supplying opiates. Yeah, exactly. Infuse my genes. Yeah. What's up, Gunter? How are you? Gunter, the guy with the pipe. Yeah, we're waiting on Opus 5. You know how long he takes or she takes? He, she, they, them. He's from Silicon Valley, so San Francisco. You can never assume it's not a fucking Apache helicopter. Gunter, please don't ask that question. I'm just kidding. I think we're gonna end. I think the game's gonna end tonight. It's on. It's over.
Spoons, you know. We have one or two inherited silver spoons. They're a thing of the past. But
Thank you,
hello,
Nate.
hi, nice to see you. Come on in.
I mean, detective.
Oh,
Sorry, I was looking at chat.
look, you find me just
Ask
about
Opus to
to
gender
light
itself.
what I can only describe as a truly
Motherfucker
Hobbit-worthy
has
pipe. It's an
like
oak
100 pipes.
church warden whereby hangs a tale. Come and have a seat. Let's just close the door behind you. Nice
I
to see
said
you.
that yesterday, Gunter. Don't
I'm
don't
back from my American
don't
wanderings,
quote
and
me.
I'm about to set off again.
Don't quote me back on myself.
This time to speak about George
I've
MacDonald.
said that every day for the last 2
See how we
weeks,
go
to
with
be
this.
fair.
It's only the second time I've lit it. Gosh, it's hard even to see where my flame is.
I've locked in. I've unlocked the the
Well, I put it
coffers,
very
and I
sweetly
said,
and
spend all the
beautifully.
gold, make her finish
I've
the
never
game.
had a church warden quite like this. This is almost worthy of the.
If anyone lives in the EU or the
Description of the
UK,
pipe
we're gonna have to
that
meet up and smoke some pipes like this sometime, just to fuck
we're
around.
told Bilbo
Even if
uses
none
to
of us
live
have never smoked a pipe in
his
our
beard
lives.
goes all the way down to his
Yes,
curly
Gunter, you
areas.
can.
But so this pipe
It
came as
should
a
take
gift
you about
from a man
30 seconds to 1
Jeff
minute.
McFetus, who's a fan of my writing and who's particularly my book.
To set her up
It's
depends how good of a
something. He says
depends how good of
this is a
developer you are.
It's pearwood churchwarden pipe made by Barbunich smoking pipes in Ukraine.
And if you're willing to pay for someone like
This is, of course, he
Claude
writes,
Code to
intended for
set
use
it
while
up for
reading
you,
Tolkien.
because he can probably set it up for you in about 15 minutes.
Gives me great joy.
And then you just gotta pay for like 5
Made me really
APIs or
afraid.
something,
It's hot
4,
stuff
3, 4.
going out to the poor Ukrainian people, defending their liberty, as occasionally one is obliged to do. So, since he said it's a pipe for reading Tolkien, it's very good. It's, of course, the longer the stem. It's a nice one. Put the stem through. The longer the stem, the cooler and sort of sweeter the smoke. So let's return to The Hobbit. And I thought it might be nice to go back to the very end. Funnily enough, the nearer it is, as it is near now, for me to pack my bags and set off on another of these adventures I seem to be having in my middle age, or after my middle age, rather like Bilbo, the more I cherish home, and sometimes really rather wish I wasn't about to leave it. So I thought it might be fun to read the very end of The Hobbit, Bilbo's homecoming, which is particularly sweet and poignant when you get to it, because there have been so many occasions when Bilbo's been in some narrow scrape or other that he wishes he was back in his own comfortable armchair with his pipe and the kettle just singing. So I'll read you this. It's also got yet another variation appropriate to its moment of Bilbo's immortal "Road Goes Ever On" song. So, as all things come to an end, even this story, a day came at last when they were in sight of the country where Bilbo had been born and bred, where the shapes of the land and of the trees were as well known to him as his hands and toes. Coming to a rise, he could see his own hill in the distance, and he stopped suddenly and said, "Roads go ever, ever on, over rock and under tree, by caves where never sun has shone, by streams that never find the sea, over snow by winter sown, and through the merry flowers of June, over grass and over stone, and under mountains in the moon. Roads go ever, ever on, under cloud and under star, yet feet that wandering have gone, turn at last to home afar. Eyes that fire and sword have seen, and horror in the halls of stone, look at last on meadows green, and trees and hills they long have known." Gandalf looked at him. "My dear Bilbo," he said, "something is the matter with you. You are not the hobbit that you were." Of course, he's saying that with real approval. Actually, when you reread that poem, it touches on so many of their adventures, and the horror in the halls of stone, particularly. But here he is home again. And so they crossed the bridge and passed the mill by the river, and came right back to Bilbo's own door. "Bless me, what's going on?" he cried. There was a great commotion, and people of all sorts, respectable and unrespectable, were thick around the door, and many were going in and out, and not even wiping their feet on the mat, as Bilbo noticed with annoyance. If he was surprised, they were more surprised still. He had arrived back in the middle of an auction. There was a large notice in black and red hung on the gate, stating that on June the 22nd, Messrs. Grubb, and Burrows would sell by auction the effects of the late Bilbo Baggins, Esquire, of Bag End Underhill, Hobbiton. Sale to commence at 10 o'clock sharp. It was now nearly lunchtime, and most of the things had already been sold, for various prices from next to nothing to old songs, as is not unusual at auctions. Bilbo's cousins, the Sackville Bagginses, were in fact busy measuring his rooms to see if their own furniture would fit. In short, Bilbo was presumed dead, and not everybody that said so was sorry to find the presumption wrong. The return of Mr. Bilbo Baggins created quite a disturbance, both under the hill and over the hill and across the water. It was a great deal more than a 9 days' wonder. The legal bother, indeed, lasted for years. It was quite a long time before Mr. Baggins was in fact admitted to be alive again. The people who had got specially good bargains at the sale took a good deal of convincing, and in the end, to save time, Bilbo's had to buy back quite a lot of his own furniture. Many of his silver spoons mysteriously disappeared and were never accounted for. Personally, he suspected the Sackville Bagginses. On their side, they never admitted that returned Baggins was genuine, and they were not on friendly terms with Bilbo ever after. They really had wanted to live in his nice hobbit hole so very much. It's very funny, the thing about wiping your feet on the doormat and the silver spoons. It's this return from high, perilous adventure of great epic and romance to the absolute domesticities of sort of suburban middle-class life. He's been dealing with these massive dragon hordes and mystical Arkensteins, and then he's back to the land of silver spoons. We have one or two inherited silver spoons. They're a thing of the past. But indeed, this is the bit I really relish. Indeed, Bilbo found he had lost more than the spoons. He had lost his reputation. It is true that forever after he remained an elf friend, and had the honour of dwarves, wizards, and all such folks as ever passed that way. But he was no longer quite respectable. He was in fact held by all the hobbits in the neighbourhood to be queer, except by his nephews and nieces on the Took side, and even they were not encouraged in their friendship by the elders. I'm sorry to say, he did not mind. He's not sorry to say that at all. He's delighted. And there's something very attractive about suddenly ceasing to be respectable when you're supposed to be respectably middle-aged. I'm sorry to say he did not mind. He was quite contented, and the sound of the kettle on his hearth was ever after more musical than it had been, even in the quiet days before the unexpected party. So you savour these things on return. His sword he hung over the mantelpiece. His coat of mail was arranged on a stand in the hall until he lent it to a museum. This is lovely. His gold and silver was largely spent in presents, both useful and extravagant, which to a certain extent accounts for the affection of his nephews and nieces. His magic ring he kept a great secret, for he chiefly used it when unpleasant callers came. And then, possibly one of my favourite sentences in The Hobbit is now to come. I really ought to have somebody inscribe it, in beautiful calligraphy, so I can put it up on my room somewhere. A great sentence, and here it is. He took to writing poetry and visiting elves. Visiting the elves, and I think that's probably fairly true of me, that I've taken more and more to writing poetry. And although I'm not able to visit elves in quite the same way that Bilbo did, of course I visit them with Bilbo and with Frodo whenever I read The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. And I'm visiting them again in that I'm now writing
17 laps
of King Arthur when he didn't know he was going to be a king, when he was just a young foundling, a kind of fosterling. And one of the Middle English sources tells us that he spent time with the elves. So we don't know any of those stories at all, so I'm going to try and work out what they might have been. So I'm going to bring elves into my story of Arthur fairly shortly, when I finally have the time to carry on writing it. So then he took to writing poetry and visiting the elves, and though many shook their heads and touched their foreheads and said, poor old Baggins, and though few believed any of his tales, he remained very happy to the end of his days, and those were extraordinarily long. So then we get a very nice addendum where
What's up, signal to noise?
Gandalf calls once more, and Balin, and we get a bit of a catch-up. And there's a very subtle contrast drawn, which he doesn't point, but it's really there,
Cheeky mate.
between Bilbo was the master of Dale, the village, the township on the lake. One autumn evening, some years afterwards, Bilbo was sitting in his study writing his memoir. He thought of calling them There and Back Again, A Hobbit's Holiday, when there was a ring at the door. It was Gandalf and a dwarf, and the dwarf was actually Balin. Come in, said Bilbo, and soon they were settled in chairs by the fire. If Balin noticed that Mr. Baggins' waistcoat was more extensive and had real gold buttons, Bilbo noticed that Balin's beard was several inches longer and his jewelled belt was of great magnificence. They fell to talking of their times together, of course, and Bilbo asked how things were going in the lands of the mountain. It seemed they were going very well. Bard had rebuilt the town in Dale. Men had gathered to him from the lake and from the south and the west, and all the valley had become tilled and rich, and the desolation was now filled with birds and blossom in spring and fruit and feasting in autumn. And Lake Town was refounded and was more prosperous than ever, and much wealth went up and down the running river, and there was friendship in those parts between elves and dwarves and men. The old master had come to a bad end. Bard had given him much gold for the help of the lake people.
What's up, guys? How's everyone
But
doing?
being of the kind that easily catches such disease, he fell under the dragon's sickness and took most of the gold and fled with it and died of starvation in the waste, deserted by all his companions. The dragon fever, the hoarding and clutching to self. Now remember what we just heard about what Bilbo did with his gold, that he spent most of it on presents, useful and beautiful. The new master is of a wiser kind, said Balin, and very popular, for of course he gets most of the credit for the present prosperity.
Ready for Curious
They're making
Code?
songs
Yeah.
which say that in his days,
Tell Opus
the
5 to
river
hurry
was
up.
run with gold. Ah, then the prophecies of the old songs have turned out to be true after a fact.
Oh, you're ready for to download it? You mean?
Said Gandalf.
Yeah,
And
get
why
that
should
shit
they
on your
not prove
computer,
true?
bro. Open up
Surely
VS Code
you
or
don't
Quad Code and get
disbelieve the prophecies because you
firing.
had a hand in bringing them about yourself. That's brilliant. You may not notice a prophecy as being fulfilled because you are actually in your own work and action a part of its fulfillment. You get that all the time in the New Testament where they do or say something or Jesus says something and then suddenly it's like they had, and so the prophecy was fulfilled, but they didn't understand it at the time. All these things were coming true, and it's only when they look back, rather as Bilbo did, to write it down long afterwards, that they realised that they themselves were part of the fulfilment of prophecy. You don't really suppose, do you, said Gandalf, that all your adventures and escapes were managed by mere luck, just for your sole benefit? Ah, I see. So there was a problem.
You're reading in the code? Good. Let me know how shitty
You're a
it
very
is.
fine person, Mr. Baggins, and I'm very fond of you, but you are only quite a little fellow in a wide world, after all.
It should be up to date on
Thank
GitHub domain.
goodness,
Let me
said
check.
Bilbo, laughing, and handed him the tobacco jar.
If it's not, that'd be
the
annoying.
last two words of The Hobbit are tobacco jar. But again, you think of all these self-important persons.
Should be,
Who'd
should
very
be.
upset if a wizard told them they weren't really that important after all, and you're only quite a little fellow in the wide world after all.
Yeah,
Thank
got you. I
goodness,
feel
said
you.
Bilbo,
Not everyone does.
and handed him the
I
tobacco
have no
jar.
more
That
money
is
for Claude
wisdom
either.
right there. That's, and we were all given it.
Trust me, that shit's way too expensive and overpriced.
Oh, hello, come in. Hi, nice to see you. Well, you see how little burst of tropical sunshine that we had last night is completely over, and I'm back to sort of warm
Oh my
whiskers
God.
and tweeds
His
again.
bottles.
It's kind of drizzling outside, so it's quite nice to be warm and comfy in here. Now, here's the thing. Do you remember this beautiful picture from the Talking Calendar I showed you one time, and how reading Tolkien had kindled my whole love of pipes and smoking, and I talked to you about.
We can probably open open code
that picture was to me. Well, let me come over
and feed it to repo and have it look at it for like
I'm gonna get a
free
pipe
maybe,
going, but I want to show you something.
and give you an idea. But you're right.
Grab a book.
Just an idea.
I want to show you here as well. My English Inns book. Okay, right.
Use a free open
So-
code model to examine the repo and tell you what
were
to
asking
do.
me the other day about
Set it up.
my pipes and tobacco and what I smoke, and I have Peterson's pipes mainly. This is a particularly nice one. It's It's in the Sherlock Holmes series, and it's called Handsome. Handsome, not in the sense. I mean, it is a handsome pipe in the but it's Handsome, Hansom. Lovely diamond shank, because it's named after Sherlock Holmes's favourite mode of transport, which was the hansom cab, the equivalent of a sort of, black taxi back in the day, because it was a horse-driven cab. And anyway, what I wanted to show you, if you remember the pictures, somebody sent me, because I also smoke Peterson tobaccos, and I like their standard mixture. I also like their deluxe navy rolls, and indeed their Sherlock Holmes. But somebody sent me this. Now, normally, of course, modern tobacco tins are festooned with odious, horrible pictures that are supposed to make you want to give up smoking. It's something they're kind of unpleasant to look at. Look what this person has done. They've taken that picture and they've beautifully reproduced it and cut it out and put it on there. I mean, Peterson should take a leaf out of that book and have that on there. And look at my desk. Somewhere on there is the letter. Somehow the tobacco and the letter got separated. And I'm really smitten in my conscience that I've got to find the letter that goes with this and work it out and find the person. And write to them personally to say thank you so much. And I really do thank that person. But I haven't found the letter yet. It's got lost on the desk. But of course, before we move, I'll have to clear my desk. So I promise myself that I will. All over there on the far side of the desk, underneath those books, is the huge pile of my, I'm sorry to say, unanswered correspondence. Anyway, I love opening these tobacco tins. I love the way you get this lovely little bit of wrapping. I've already had some of this, but I'm going to have some more. And there it is. I mean, it's just really rich and pungent. This is it's not an aromatic one or anything. You're just getting the full. It's quite an old-fashioned. Well, I would say English, but of course it's Irish, in fact. But it's an old-fashioned sort of blend. It's a bit different from the lighter and then flavoured tobaccos that one often gets in America. I mean, I like some of those too, but this is really good. So let's just pick out of this lovely, and it's all the nice. I mean, you've been so kind in buying me coffees and things, which I really appreciate, actually. But here's somebody. It's just lovely. So let's just to keep it fresh. Now it's rather nice to settle down with a pipe and a pint on a rather drizzly day and be in the warm. And
it is. That's what we're doing. Light your pipe, everybody.
Oh, that's better. Now, the pint. I was given this lovely, now rather battered old pewter tankard for my 21st birthday, so that was some time ago, and I'm filling it at the moment with this. Adnams is a great Suffolk brewery. Broadside, commemorating the Battle of Sole Bay, 1672. Let's just top this up. I have to say, I'm just delighted that a date like 1672 should appear on a beer bottle, because it speaks to me of the long continuity of certain pleasures, the pipe and the pint. I can imagine somebody coming back victorious, some sailor from the Battle of Sole Bay, finally making landfall and reaching a decent old English inn and consoling himself with a pipe and a pint, just as I'm doing now. And I was thinking about that long continuity because in the course of finding the books and reboxing them and everything, I came across this lovely book, English Inns by Thomas Burke. And in fact, I don't know which of these pewter mugs that are on the thing this one might correspond with, but it's a very interesting book. It's beautifully written. It's part of a series called Britain in Pictures. And I've got several of those. I've got English poets, English men of letters, English letter writers, the literary ones, but I've got the Inns one as well. I just pick them up in odd bookshops here and there. I mean, this was £2. But the thing to look at is the date. William Collins of London, 1943, right in the deepest and darkest days of the war. The war, of course, is never mentioned. But what these books quietly did, I suppose to keep us going and remind us what we were fighting for, is they celebrated essentially English things. Great opening sentence here. When the first English road was made, the first English inn was born. There's the running horse in Swinton. And it's illustrated with beautiful... That's the trip to Jerusalem in Nottingham. I've been there. It actually backs into the hillside there, and some of the rooms, some of the snugs in the inn are actually caves. They're actually, you know... And there's a wonderful passage in here about inn signs. It says... in the very signs of our inns echo the events of our national story and make them part of the English pageant. All ranks of English life are celebrated, and many of our occupations, sports, legends and heroes. And it talks about how many of the signs on inns and the creatures and the images were originally heraldic and royal. So they says here, thus we have the white horse, originally the Saxon banner and later the badge of the House of Hanover. The sun, the badge of Richard Coeur de Lion. The white hart, the badge of Richard II. The boar, the badge of Richard III. The red lion, John of Gaunt. The rose, the Tudors. The feathers, the Black Prince. The bear, the House of Warwick. Our mythology and folklore are recorded in the Georgian dragon, the griffin, the Dick Whittington, the King and Tinker, the Robin Hood, Mother Redcap, the Miller of Mansfield, Mad Tom, and of course the Cat and Fiddle. Later on, there's a sentence which I came to recollect in an essay of my own. Wonderful pictures of these old inns, go all the way through, fantastic. There's a sentence here which I think is really fine and says something, I think, sort of spiritually as well as historically quite significant. Here's the sentence. The old inn is no antiquarian exhibit, no frozen relic of the past. It lives in one long, continuous present. That's just beautiful. They're kind of all moments present. It's almost a mystical statement. It lives in one long, continuous present. It's not a frozen relic of the past. Well, it happened that... Come away and... Hi. Ah, nice to see you. You've been able to come again quite soon.
Thank you guys for joining me doing whatever the fuck I do all day.
Come over here. I'm going to select something that's quite...
Please leave a like.
Scatter of things here. But these are mainly the Briar pipes and mainly Peterson. But somebody told me that apparently it's now... I think this is a lunar year, rather than that it's now the year of the dragon for the Chinese. And of course I realised that the magnificent and ancient Eastern dragons, the Chinese dragons, are in a very different tradition in terms of what they mean than the Western ones. I think the Eastern ones bring good fortune, but are also ancient and wise like the Western ones. Anyway, I just thought, okay, well, that's put me in the mind of dragons. And we were having a bit of a fun with talking the last 2 times you come. So I thought, wouldn't it be lovely just to go back to that first moment? Certainly it was the first moment in my childhood of encounter with the dragon, which was the encounter with Smug. Bilbo's first sight of Smug. It's one of the best pieces of Tolkien's writing. So I thought, well, we must have a dragon pipe. And all the nice thing about these meerschaum pipes, it's a bit dusty, is that they come in their own little cases, little leather cases. They're usually black like that. But this one, I'm pleased to say, is sort of dragon red, and it's almost like... Now, I bought this in Oxford in a shop that may well, in its earlier days, have been patronised by both...
Yeah, sure, you could be
Tolkien
on and reacting to this or whatever,
anyway,
but...
let me open this up and we'll see. Meerschaum, of course,
you'd be
is
annoying the
wonderful
fuck
material.
out of me.
Meerschaum means foam of the sea. Look at that. It's not a full dragon, of course, but it is very much a dragon's claw. And I think of it as my dragon pipe. So I thought, why don't we fire this one up with some Kendall black cherry.
And to have her running while
An
she's
English
also
mix,
being
though, of course, the tobacco's
surgery's
grown
being
in
performed
America.
on her is not
And,
safest. Always.
Have a little settle and enjoy that wonderful bit of The Hobbit. Now,
The dragon pipe.
this isn't the original tin from which the Kendall black cherry comes, because they cover it with horrible pictures of people's interiors to try and put you off. But I put it in a nice tin, which is a railway poster of the Norfolk Broads. So lovely. It's quite moist still. This is quite new. Lovely, dark, mainly Cavendish, but with this gentle aromatic of cherry.
I remember I was in Paris, I bought cigarettes, and on the cover of the cigarettes was like the most disgusting like images I've ever seen.
I went to find my big, beautifully illustrated Hobbit, and I just can't find it anywhere. I have 3 Hobbits, as it were. I've got the old greenback one that my father had, that had a picture of a sort of black dragon.
Well, yeah, this guy went to Cambridge and taught at Cambridge, so he's educated.
And I can't find either of those, and actually I couldn't find them before. So I bought, sort of off the web, a kind of emergency Hobbit, which is just a nice paperback.
It's only tobacco.
Passage.
Not
But I was
cannabis.
thinking, I wish we could see Tolkien's own
It
illustrations.
is a drug,
and then I
though.
remembered.
That's for sure.
Unfortunately, I could find it.
So is that
This
alcohol.
I think this would go with the dragon thing quite nice, because this is a Lagavulin, so it's quite a smoky malt. It's a peaty, smoky malt. I've been to the distillery and seen the warm glow of the peat and the smoke rising up through the malt. Anyway, that's a nice biography of Tolkien. Almost all pictures of Tolkien show him smoking a pipe, which is rather good. Anyway, in Oxford a while back, they had an absolutely magnificent exhibition called Tolkien, Maker of Middle-earth, with all kinds of things. Not very good light to this.
Like, if you can get into Oxford or Cambridge, you're fucking
Really
smart
good
as
smell
shit.
himself. Not better. And
Or DEI, I guess. I don't know how it
lots
works.
of, as it were, personal things and memorabilia about Tolkien. But
Or both.
I bought the big catalogue.
Can't not be both.
And
Not
loads
your
and
fault.
loads of Tolkien's
How
own
you were born.
drawings. And here, Smaug the Magnificent, as Tolkien himself drew and imagined him. A little Bilbo down there making his obeisance.
This reminds me of that one Oliver Tree song, like Cash Machine. Like, why do you need all that money? What are you gonna do with it? Referencing one group of people who we all probably know, but that don't need to be named, that are kind of like dragons.
Wonderful expression on the dragon's face, and the great, as you'll hear in a minute, the great jars full of treasures. And the bats up there. And I think that is just the perfect image to me of the dragon on his hoard. Quite a lot of the details about Smaug, and indeed the detail about stealing the cup, are gentle allusions, tips of the cap, as it were, from Tolkien to the Beowulf poet. Tolkien was a great expert on the Anglo-Saxon poem Beowulf, and Beowulf at the end, having earlier in the story slain Grendel and Grendel's mother, faces a dragon and dies.
I've read
basically,
Beowulf, but I did not
there's an incident
understand
where
it. I was
somebody
like
steals a cup.
14.
Perhaps this will work better.
It made no sense to me.
I haven't smoked this one for a while. One of the nice things about that picture, I don't know if you noticed, I showed, is that Smaug has 2 little trails of smoke coming out of his nostrils. Tolkien had a fascination with dragons since childhood. And I sometimes wonder whether his own pleasure in pipe smoking didn't have a slightly dragonish element to it. But he too could breathe smoke from his mouth, if not fire.
I too have dragonish elements.
Anyway, let's
beware.
It's the glorious chapter Inside Information when at last they found a little door into the mountain.
We have shock images on circuits in Germany to hair holding sad. Yeah. I saw them in Paris. It was like dead babies and fucking lungs that look like they were gonna fucking blow up. It's disgusting. It's true. But this seems like Europe being Europe. Yeah, people shouldn't smoke, but figure it out a better way. I don't know. Maybe it works.
And this is Bilbo's moment. And
I was still smoking them
There's a wonderful description in this of
because they don't have cannabis there. But when I got to Amsterdam, I had a great time with the red light girls and the coffee shops.
Actually, talking, what have I done with by talking, drawing on his experience of the Great War, and the horrible and impossible things down into the dark. He was trembling with fear, but his little face was set and grim. Already he was a very